Hello and welcome to the next video in a series of how-to videos for Arteco. In this one we're going to explore how to search for recordings inside of Next. If you're not already on the recordings environment, go ahead and click the REC button at the top left. Once you've done that, you should see a number of panes here. You have the device list, your recording search pane, your layouts pane with all your layout tabs configured in the live environment, and then a live event, recordings browser, and event log pane down at the bottom right. So we'll talk a little bit about how to do these as we go throughout the different ways to search for recordings. The first method is to search for the events in a timeline view called the recordings browser. To do that, first you want to go into the middle recording search pane and choose your time period that you want to search for. So if I choose the last hour, then it'll pull up the last hour of video. Next, you go down to the sources selection, and you will decide whether you want to use the auto or the manual device list selection. So with auto, it pulls up the devices on the current layout. And by current layout, it means the layout that you have selected here in the top right. So I have all 4 of these cameras selected, and I have last hour. So if I click search, we should see 4 cameras pull up in the recordings browser. Now that we have our cameras pulled up, we can play our video. We can fast forward that video. We can see how fast it's fast forwarded down here in the bottom. And we can also stop it and choose a different camera if we want. Press play for that. And we can also choose many different cameras and play them at the same time. Another way to pull up your recordings is with the manual device list selection. So let's say I want to pull up all of the cameras for our Demo 1 server. Instead of choosing auto, I'll choose manual, and I'll have the ability then to check the boxes next to all the cameras. So now I'm going to show you how to do a custom interval. So let's do a custom interval, and we'll make it just for the time between 1:46 p.m. and 1:55 p.m. So not a very long time frame, but we'll search that just so you can see how that custom interval works. And we have manual selected with all of the devices, or the video channels rather, from our US Demo 1 server. And I'll go ahead and click search. As you can see, all of the devices from our Demo 1 server were pulled up in the recordings browser. Now let me show you how to pull up inside the recordings browser all of the events that happen throughout these devices. So if you want to select and see devices that happened on, or rather events, that happened on all of these channels, you can check the box for server events or for individual video channel events. So if I want to see all of the violated area events that happened in all of my cameras on Demo 1 in the last hour, I'll click the last hour for the time period. I'll keep my manual device list selection with all of my channels here checked. And then I'll have that events filter essentially on violated area. And I'll click search. Now as you can see in the recordings browser, it looks a bit different. We have all of our events marked by these red lines, or rather red bars. And that's really just how long the event would last for. So if I go to my front entrance camera and I press play, then I have the ability to skip and go to the next event. And this is a really awesome feature in order to try and save time when looking at all the event video. So you can see there I am entering into the door, and if I click the next event, it shows the next time somebody entered. I can do that furthermore with more events as they occur, so it shows people coming and going. Another thing that you can do is you can specify event searching by parameter. So if I just select all of my event types and then I want to select all of the devices in my server, so I get even some of my peripheral devices. And let's say I want to find all of the different devices that have my name Brian in them, because some of them for the access control and the facial recognition events are specified for that. So I'll just choose the last 12 hours, and I'll click search. And as you can see here, there weren't any of them that pull up in relation to video. But I do have in my event log tab all of the events that pertain to some of those peripheral devices. So if I go down and click on, let's say, this event here, it shows me when I swiped my card and entered into the door. And the same would go for any of the facial recognition events as well. All right. So, and then another way to search for the events in this manner with the event log, you can also drop down in the device list any of those video channels. So let's say I want to take a look at all of the violated area events in my front entrance camera for today. I can give that a double click, and it'll pull up all of the different violated area events that occurred, and even the ones that had to do with our access control peripheral devices as well. And if I click on one of those, I can see each of these events as they're shown here. Thanks for watching this video, and stay tuned for more videos on how to in Arteco.